everybody, today is the first day of the O.W.L.s Readathon and I'm sitting at work before I clock in about 30 minutes. I have to add an additional book to my TBR because I did not finish this book in time before the readathon started, so I'm adding Born Wicked by Jessica Spotswood. This is going to be towards my History of Magic Owl, and it's historical fiction. I'm not very far into it. I think I'm only on chapter 4, so I don't feel too bad about adding this to the TBR because I'm not even close to halfway of the book. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here and read a little bit before I have to go in and get all of my stuff ready for work, and then I will check in with you guys whenever I read a little bit more. It might actually be after work because I don't really get much time during work to do anything, even during my breaks. So I will probably see y'all after work. Day 2 of the O.W.L.s Readathon, I read 68 pages of Born Wicked. I didn't get to read any at work, even during my breaks. It was kind of spastic during my breaks and my lunch. I did get to read after work though at home because we had a power outage, so I wanted to conserve my battery life for my phone, so I'm gonna try to read more today. Hopefully the call flow won't be as bad and we'll have some time to just sit so I can read a little bit during the day, and maybe my break won't be as crazy and I'll get to read during my break as well. I might have to see y'all afterwards.
So I just got home from work and I did get a lot of reading done today, surprisingly. So we've been having some issues at work. I just recently changed desk, and because of that, my profile that I work off of is signing up as a temp profile instead of an actual my profile. I was basically off the phones for 40 minutes, so while I was waiting on our IT guy to fix that, which it's not fixed yet, I got some reading done today. So I got about 20 pages read today at work, so that's a positive considering yesterday I didn't get any pages read yesterday. So yay, I'm going to go lie down for a bit, chill and read for a bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my chores before the challenge starts. So yay for reading.
Hello everybody, it's day 3, and last night after I got off the video with you guys, I didn't read much more. I only read maybe 6 pages. The challenge was definitely intense, especially since it was the final. I did get to read a little bit this morning. I read about 3 pages. I'm hoping to read a little bit more before work ends. I'm not going to go to practice today. I tweaked my ankle again and it's bothering me to even stand on it, even walk on it. So I'm gonna try and do some exercises that don't involve me having to work my ankle too much instead of going to practice, which I would be afraid of hurting my ankle. So hopefully I can get some more reading done tonight as well. So yeah, I'm about to go into work, but before I go into work, I'm going to read a little bit more, and I will see you guys in my next update for today.
Alright, so I'm making the conscious decision to change Born Wicked from History of Magic to Divination, because I just figured out that Born Wicked, I figured out about last night. I just realized that I could put that as my divination because it does include a prophecy. So I think I'm going to change it to that so that I can keep History of Magic open, because I do love historical fiction, and I do believe that I do have a book that I own that I could put that as in place of that if I get to it. So changing Born Wicked to divination. I did get to read a little bit more today, so that was exciting. I'm going to continue reading, like I said. Reading and housework for me tonight.
So I decided to go to the library and I didn't check this out. I thought it was a really quick read. So it's called Flying Witch. It's the first volume, and this fulfills my transfiguration because it has a cat on it. So one book down. Hello everybody, it is day 4 of the O.W.L.s Readathon. I didn't want to go into too much detail last night because I was at the library and they were closing. I was about 15 minutes till closing, so I didn't want to be in their hair too much longer. But I did finish Flying Witch, which is 160 pages of manga. It was really cute. That fulfilled my transfiguration owl, so I've already got one book down, and my goal for today is to finish Born Wicked for my divination. I only have a little less than 100 pages. I think that's what I'm going to knock out right now. Today is my day
off since you guys aren't seeing me in my car. I have my coffee ready so I won't fall back asleep whenever reading. I also am going to be meeting my friend for our meets up since we haven't had one in forever. And hopefully it'll be a really productive reading day. So I just finished book 2 of the O.W.L.s Readathon. I just finished Born Wicked, which is my divination choice. So Transfiguration and Divination are already under my belt now. I just need one more book to consider a passing grade, so that's great. I just now started Never Cry Werewolf, so that will be book 3. That will be under the care of magical creatures. And I don't know why I didn't mention this in the 2 times that I talked about Flying Witch, but I'm going to count that towards my 26 book challenge, which is read a library book. So far this month is shaping up to be a pretty good reading month, which is good for me because I had horrible reading months in February and March. So today is day 5 of the O.W.L.s Readathon. I have not read but maybe a couple pages today. It's already 7 o'clock at night. I was running late this morning, that's why I didn't film this morning. My mind's been mostly focused on the fact that we now have a baby girl horse in the area that I live. If you didn't know, I live on a horse farm. My landlord owns the horses. One of the horses is following me right now. So I'm reading Never Cry Werewolf right now. I'm not digging it. I've only read it a couple pages into the book. But it's that kind of YA contemporary that was before YA became a little bit intellectual, if that makes sense. I might DNF it, and I might find another book to replace it. But we'll see. We'll think about it whenever I get back in the house. So while I was on my walk, I decided to give Never Cry Werewolf a little bit of a try. I'm going to get to at least page 30. And if I feel like it's not for me, I'm going to chuck it and try and pick something else to go for Care of Magical Creatures. Because if it ain't working for me, it ain't working. And I don't want to read something that will take me off of my groove. Because I'm in a groove right now, believe it or not. And I want to continue with that groove. I'm trying to read. And this little boy and this little girl are trying to get my attention. They're distracting me. You're distracting me. You're distracting me. I'll put you with my book. So I read to page 30 of Never Cry Werewolf. I can't force myself to read that. It's not happening. So day 6, I read about 30 pages of Never Cry Werewolf and I just had to stop reading it. I feel like if I would have read that book or tried to push myself through that book, I would have just called it quits for the rest of the O.W.L.s Readathon, and I don't want to do that. I want to try to excel at reading this month. So I looked through my books that I own. Surprisingly, I do not have any other books. I have one book about a dragon, but it would be incredibly too long, and it's one of those books that I actually want to delve into deeper than just reading during a readathon. So that was out of the question. And then all the other books that I own either are about witches or vampires, and I don't have any other magical creatures. Like, the only other one I have is Ironside, and I've already chosen that for charms. So I decided to use Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the big art one that I decided to read for my reread for the 26 book challenge. I've only read the first couple pages of it. Since mentioning it in my last TBR, I haven't touched it. So I'm okay with adding it too. So that will be my Care of Magical Creatures instead of Never Cry Werewolf. And I immediately added Never Cry Werewolf to my get rid of pile. I don't want to read that ever again. The first 30 pages were awful. I can only imagine the rest of the book. So yeah, it's Saturday. It's about 10 a.m. I'm just now starting to get up and moving. I gotta go do some errands. I gotta go get groceries. I gotta get a couple of things for my desk so that I can hold things. And I'm sorry, it's incredibly wobbly today. I'm sorry. And then I'm gonna come back home, do my last load of dishes, and then I think I've got the rest of the day to read. So yay! So it's the end of day 6. I just got out of the shower, so that's why I have my hair up drying. I barely read anything today. My mind was not with anything that I was doing today. Shopping, cleaning, reading, even napping. It was an awful mental day. I did read a couple pages though, so I didn't not read today. So since Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is such a huge book, I'm not going to take that to work, especially since tomorrow is supposed to be raining. And I know that I'm going to be able to get a lot of reading done because Sundays tend to be really slow at the beginning and then at the end of work. Today is day 7. It's like 30 minutes till the end of today. And I only read about 4 pages today. I woke up really late this morning. I woke up at 7:12, which is 12 minutes after I was supposed to clock in at work today. I was 48 minutes late, and because of that, I got stressed, and I was tired, and I started feeling sick, and I just was not up for reading at work at all, even though I had the time to do it. And then after that, we went to my husband's best man's daughter's birthday party, and then after that, I came home and chilled a little bit, got ready for practice, and then had practice, and I'm just now getting home, took a shower. I maybe am going to stay up for a little bit to read just a little bit more, just to push it a little bit further. But other than that, yeah, I think I'm just done with today. Anyways, that completes week 1 of the O.W.L.s Readathon. So far this week, I've read 2 complete books, finished 2 Owls. I started one book, DNF'd it, switched that out with another book, started that one, and then started a 4th book. So all in all, with the progress that I made this week, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. I might not be as fast as other readers out there in BookTube universe, but for me, pretty damn good. I will see you guys tomorrow.